and welcome to my studio. Today I'm sharing something many of you have asked for, a full tour of my art studio. It's not perfectly tidy because I've just finished a few projects, so it's a little messy. But honestly, I think that's the best time to show you around. As I reset the space, I'll take you along and share how I organize everything. Let's start with my main desk. This is where I do most of my computer work and also lots of hands-on projects. I've been working on this small drawer, adding some decoupage to it. I thrifted a while ago and even shared it in a past video. I'll leave the link for you. Okay, now let me start putting things back where they belong. I keep my rotary cutter and scissors in this big basket right here, and I love that they are always easy to reach. This acrylic ruler goes back on my gallery wall, where I try to keep things both functional and decorative. Most of my rulers and a couple of cutting mats stay here beside me. It makes everything easier. Pencils go into this corner, and these are my favorite pens for lettering. They live inside this clear, Muji drawer. My eraser always goes in the top drawer of this IKEA Alex unit. These drawers hold practical things I need close by. The first is a classic junk drawer, of course. Then I have my stamps, sewing notions, tapes, and calligraphy tools. Actually, this drawer is simple but special at the same time. It was a gift from a dear friend who had to move back to Brazil. Sometimes I wonder if she knows how often I think of her because of the things she generously gave me. This little brush goes back to this shelf, and my glue, paints, and paper napkins go into the wardrobe behind my desk. Let me show you what else I keep there. This yellow wardrobe holds a lot. I know it looks a little messy when I open the doors, but trust me, I know exactly where everything is. I like to reuse boxes to organize things, so you'll find cookie tins and old game boxes mixed with plastic and paper containers. Inside, I keep all kinds of glues, scrapbook papers, spare notebooks, most of my ribbons, threads, and extra embroidery floss. I always have my packaging and office supplies, my markers, crafting tools, and little notions. There are some string lights, a hot glue gun, and a few dried herbs. And there is a little spot for specialty paper, templates, and whatever projects I'm working on at the moment. It's not fancy, but everything is organized and right at hand whenever I need it. Next to my desk is also one of my favorite pieces, this antique thread cabinet. I found it in Quebec, and it still had most of the original flosses inside. It felt like a treasure chest. Fun story. One day I was visiting a Pioneer Village museum here in Ontario and saw the exact same model there. I got so excited. It felt like time had circled back. So these are my yellow IKEA Billy shelves. I've had them for 15 years, and now that I'm thinking about it, they survived 4 moves already. Yes, 4. And that was just here in Canada. It makes me realize how much I've moved in my life. But I cannot complain because I actually love moving. How about you? Do you enjoy moving too? Here I store all my felt and fabric stash. I also keep my button collection here, organized by color of course. More sewing notions. And my bigger paintbrushes. Most of my art and craft books and magazines are here, like my creative scrapbooker magazine issues and my collection of IKEA catalogs. I've kept collecting this every year since moving to Canada back in 2009, up until the year they suddenly stopped printing them. I don't know why, but I was missing a couple of issues and my dear friend Marjorie went on eBay and found them for me. She's the best. I also keep a few precious keepsakes here. This photo of me as a child is one of my favorites, where I am drawing on a rock out in nature. And honestly, I haven't changed much. You'd still find me like this on any trip today. Up here, I keep my extra fabrics, cross-stitch stash, and my collection of chita, which is a traditional print from Brazil with big bold florals. This always makes me smile, and I think a huge part of my love for color comes from growing up in a tropical country. The vibrant nature, the warmth, the joy people bring even during difficult times. It has all shaped who I am and what I love, I am sure of that. It's a joy that lives in the fabrics I choose, the colors I pick, and the way I decorate my home. Now let's turn to the other side of the room. This is Ibere's desk. A few days a week, we share the studio. He likes standing while working for a few hours a day, but I didn't want a bulky standing desk. This mid-center one from Article was the perfect size. We added this handmade height adjuster we found on Etsy. It's simple, low profile, and works really well. Above the desk is an old wooden crate where I keep my little collection of small things I love. And this frame holds one of my favorite quotes. It reminds me to welcome imperfections in both art and life. I found this folk art painting at an antique market and fell in love instantly. It always makes me smile. Ibere laughs because he says I sometimes get obsessed with things, and this was one of them. because this is not even my usual style, but there's something about it that brings me joy. I think it reminds me of a dream I carry in my heart, to live in a tiny village surrounded by nature. Maybe one day. This vintage desk is one of my favorite things in the entire house, and it was a lucky curbside find. We gave it a fresh coat of yellow paint and made it feel like mine. It holds my calligraphy supplies, ink bottles, and my little Momiji doll collection. Here is also where I love writing pen pal letters. Most of my pen pal treasures are inside this wooden IKEA stool. These old planner boxes now hold ephemera, stickers, and little things I send to friends. I've always loved handwritten letters, but it was just last year that I started having pen pal friends again, and it's been amazing. It's been so good for me to reconnect with something so analog and personal. I highly recommend it. This table is where I usually take product photos. But when I'm not using it, it belongs to the cats, especially Gato. This is his favorite sun spot. Gemma now prefers the armchair I showed in my last video. And finally, the highlight of the studio, this gallery wall. I'm always adding new things to it. It's full of memories, art, and meaningful findings. I could probably make a whole video just about it. And today, I'm hanging this sweet gift from my friend Daisy. There's my pencil collection with pencils from my childhood until now. I never leave a museum store without picking up a new one. That tiny figure over there, I bought it during our honeymoon 20 years ago. This was a gift bag from Iberê from over 10 years ago. That little music box always brings me a sense of calm when I wind it. The thread holder came from a trip to Maine. And one of the most special pieces is this framed replica of a letter Iberê gave me 27 years ago. The original is actually part of a museum collection in Copenhagen at the Happiness Museum. We are planning a trip there soon, and I can't wait to see this letter in person again. So many stories. Every time I sit here, I feel surrounded by comfort and inspiration. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope this little studio tour brought you some calm and joy. And if you enjoy it, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment telling me your favorite part of the studio. See you next time. Sending all my love.